not wasting no time, no. I'm focused on my own goals.
What's goody, everybody? It's your boy Melody, and I'm back with another video. And I hope y'all are ready to divinely align with the message that I got for y'all today. So this message is specifically for my Scorpio moons and anybody looking to learn more about us Scorpio moons. And yeah, I'm making this video because, you know, we're a misunderstood tribe, you know. And I hate to use that because it's, you know, kind of overrated, but it is what it is. We misunderstood. You know, and Scorpio in general, like Scorpio is a really mysterious sign, like that goes without saying. Like, it just is what it is. It's a very mysterious sign. And it's a lot that isn't totally understood about it, and it's a lot that is understood about it. So we just gonna get into it. Today I'm talking about the moon in Scorpio, not the sun, you know, what everybody else call, for those who don't really fully understand astrology. I want to make another video on that, but I might merge it in with this. I might as well. So I hear a lot of people saying that, you know, everybody is running with this zodiac, like y'all really believe in that zodiac, like how y'all gonna judge somebody off of zodiac. Partly I agree, and another part of me does not agree, because it's a full spectrum. Like, a lot of people see it as just one spectrum based off the sun sign, what we go by. Like, somebody look at somebody and say, oh, he a Gemini, or oh, she a Scorpio, or oh, she a Taurus, you know. But it's more to it than that, you know. And the part that I do agree with is, you know, demonizing a sign for, you know, what somebody did to you in the past. And, you know, you can meet another, say a Taurus fucked you over. You can meet another Taurus down the line that'll do you better or is better for you, but it's just based off what else they got in their birth chart. And that's really that's the full spectrum of it. It's a total birth chart behind it. It's more than just your sun sign. You know, that's just your ego. So what I'm talking about today is the moon. And I might still make another video on that, explaining deeper about how, you know, people get that misconstrued. But anyway, we're going to talk about the moon in Scorpio today. So what is the moon? The moon is your emotions, how you feel, what you need to be fulfilled emotionally. The moon represents or, you know, shows your perspective of the mother. The moon is the mother. Basically, like the earthly mother as well as the heavenly mother, the moon, actually, the physical moon. What else? The moon shows how you get affection. The moon shows your comfort, who you are at your depth, and like your inner person. That's who you really are. Like, your moon is your heart. And that's just a little, you know, quick explanation of it. But the moon in Scorpio is a very different type of placement, and I'm not gonna like try to isolate it and make it something special. But in a way, you know, maybe only for a person who is actually a Scorpio moon would understand. But the moon in Scorpio is a very intense placement, and I know a lot of people say that in their videos, but it really is. Like, it's lots of ways to explain it, but that's one way of really explaining it. And the moon is not comfortable in Scorpio. The moon is, you know, where you easily express emotions. You know, how you express yourself and how you know, show up emotionally. And Scorpio is a very secretive, very deep, and it's kind of like cold. So the moon is not comfortable here at all because the moon likes to display emotions and it loves to, you know, just basically show emotions with no effort. But the moon in Scorpio is not like that. And I'm gonna break it down for y'all from my experience also. So basically the moon in Scorpio, this placement is just really, it can be really exhausting sometimes. It can be draining to the people who have it as well as to the people who deal with this person, because you know we can seem really closed off and really distant emotionally, very cold emotionally to the people who know us. And you know, it can seem like you never really fully get to know this person. Like it's always something gonna always, if you stay loyal to this person and if you stay around this person long enough and you actually get close and make this person be able to trust you, or you know, like help them to trust you, you know, you'll see different layers of them begin to expose themselves. And you know, it's not an easy thing because Scorpio moons go through a lot of things growing up and possibly carry stuff over from past lives that really affect them in how they express themselves and how they, you know, present themselves to people. And it can be really hard to express your emotions in this placement and just express yourself in general, because you know, Scorpio comes with a lot of fear of betrayal, fear of abandonment, you know, and a lot of times they've experienced those things either as a young child or, like I said, from past lives. And that stuff can be carried and held on to because Scorpio also, it's hard for Scorpio to let go of things. Scorpio is a fixed sign. So fixed moon is really like tough. But this also makes Scorpio moons very loyal, reliable, and you know, they irresistible because of the simple fact that, you know, people know that they can depend on this person, or they know that this person is not afraid of many things, like especially when it has to do with darkness, you know, the taboo things of life and the darker parts of life. It's hard to scare these people off with certain things because Scorpio moons, we love to dive deep. When we meet people, we want to know the darkest, ugliest parts of the person. You know, if we get close to you, it's for a reason, because we see the beauty in you, but we also see the darkness in you. And sometimes Scorpio moons can attract people that have a lot of darkness or like history of, you know, different things. And you know, this placement is really deep and it is never ending. Like I would describe this as like the bottom of the ocean deep. Like even me sometimes, like when I feel stuff, I don't know what I'm feeling. It's like the ocean, like you don't know, it's still, the bottom of the ocean still hasn't been discovered. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like some percentage it hasn't been discovered. But it's like that. Like if you go to the depths, it get dark and you don't know what's down there, and you don't know what you're feeling as a Scorpio moon. It's like you just feel it, and the feelings are very intense. And that's why Scorpios can be secretive, and that's why they can hold back a lot emotionally, because they're afraid of either getting hurt or having to feel those really intense emotions. But at the same time, we dwell in that, if that makes sense. Like when we alone, it's easy for us to go in the depths and have to go through deaths and rebirths, and not literally, but like, you know, symbolically, like go through these deaths and become a new person, like the phoenix, like rising from the ashes and becoming a whole new person. Like, and that just goes to show like the depth of a Scorpio moon, because a Scorpio sun is like the ego. That's just your ego. And you know, you can go through those transformations with the sun in that placement, and you know, see transformations of your own ego, and possibly discover your purpose in this life. But the moon is basically a death and rebirth of your emotions and your inner self. And that can be very, very, very intense. It can be really scary because, you know, a lot of times you don't, like I said, you don't know what you're feeling. And when you don't know what you're feeling, sometimes you can just be all over the place. And that's why I say Scorpio moons can, you know, draw back from people for a while and go into isolation and really like feel those feelings, go with the emotions and come out a whole new person. In love, Scorpio moons can be possessive, they can be obsessive, they can be jealous, you know, and very territorial. And you know, it's not a good thing being possessive and obsessive and all of that, because it can lead to running your partners away. Especially like if you haven't healed and done that inner work that you need to really tap into your power. Because Scorpio moon is a really powerful placement. You know, I've been meeting like a lot of other Scorpio moons, and I love meeting other Scorpio moons. So if you're a Scorpio moon, comment down below, and I'll leave my Instagram and stuff in the description box. So follow me. And you know, I just love to have that community of Scorpio moons and connect and see how we all relate, because Scorpio moon, I read in a book somewhere that whenever other Scorpio moons meet each other, it's always like a brother or a sisterhood. And it really feel like that. Like you feel like you known this person and y'all can connect like really fast. Excuse me. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful thing to be able to connect with somebody who understands you emotionally, because as I said before, you know, we can feel really misunderstood, but sometimes it can be our own fault because we're not willing to let our guard down and be vulnerable. It's hard for us to be vulnerable and put ourselves out there to really be seen and to be heard and be felt. But at the same time, this can vary based off, you know, other placements in your chart. If you got more fire or more air, then these things can make it a little bit easier for you to, you know, express yourself, especially if you got like a fire Mercury or Mars. Those things can make it easy for you to express yourself and like kind of get some of that stuff out, but you still may have like certain guards or whatever. But yeah, back to the love part, like yeah, the possessiveness and obsessiveness and jealousy, that stuff can be bad. So it's best as a Scorpio moon to like do that inner work, do that shadow work, and you know, go into the darkness. And the darkness is, you know, people hear darkness and they think like, oh, evil and demonic. No, you know, it's a duality to everything in life. Everything. And there's light and there's dark. But you can't have the light without the dark. And so that's a lot of what Scorpio moon's purpose is to go into the dark, figure out what's down there, and bring it into light to transform it. Because that's also what Scorpio rules, transformation. Like I said, this is a really powerful placement. If you really do the work that is needed, then you can transform yourself. You can transform yourself totally and become a better person and actually wield your power in a powerful way. Scorpio moons can be really psychic, very psychic, intuitive, and just know things. Like Scorpio moon always reading under the surface of things. What's going on under the surface? What's not being said? You know, what's not being heard? You know, somebody in the background could be talking about something, everybody up there in the front talking about something, but the Scorpio moon is observing, hearing, and seeing everything going on in the surroundings, what other people may have missed. The Scorpio moon caught it. And also being able to be a human lie detector, knowing when a motherfucker lying to you. Like, you can't come to me and try to tell me one thing and I'm looking at you and seeing straight through you and seeing your truth, you know? And that's why this placement can scare some people off without even trying, because of that ability to see beyond what's being said. Like, some people don't like that. Some people feel comfortable in that. You know, some people like can walk up to a Scorpio moon and tell a whole life story because they feel like, you know, intuitively or on an energetic level, they can feel that this person can handle that. And sometimes a Scorpio moon may feel like what made you come up to me and start telling me all of this? Like, I ain't want to know all that. You know, sometimes I think that like I didn't need to know all of that, like your personal business. And sometimes that can be, you know, a way for Scorpio moon could use that. And I'm not saying that it's good, but there's some people out here that might not be evolved as far as their placements in Scorpio moon. You know, for the people who aren't totally evolved in this placement, they can use that to their advantage. Like somebody coming up to them and, you know, even if it's somebody that they getting to know on a deeper level, if they're on the darker side, they can manipulate that person and use that information that they've given them against them. And that's not good. I'm here to tell whatever Scorpio moon watching is, that's not healthy. And whatever is done will be done back to you. Trifold. So, yeah. And that's another thing about Scorpio moons. They can be manipulative. Because, you know, like I said, with people coming up to them, presenting certain information, or with them just knowing certain things without a person even having to say it. You know, if they're not healed, or if they, you know, feel if that person does something to fuck them over or to try to hurt them, that's another thing, another trait of Scorpio, vengeance or revenge, wanting to get revenge if somebody do something to them. You know, the Scorpion is what you call it, the archetype for Scorpio. And just like if they done wrong, they can sting somebody. And, you know, it's best to leave those things to the universe or God. Because, again, it's not going to be good for you on the turnaround. But yeah, back to like just the overall placement. It's a very beautiful placement. Scorpio moon is very powerful if you wield that energy right and you heal that energy and tap into it. Because if you just let this energy be, it can possibly control you because it's in the darkness. The moon is in the darkness in this placement. So the moon is not really acting out in the way that it desires to. It's in the dark. So those emotions can overtake you sometimes and you can get in the dark space. But being in that dark space doesn't always mean a bad thing, because it's just like a seed. When a seed is planted and it's watered and given light, it can grow. It can grow. So just because you in that dark space don't mean that you have to stay there. You know, figure out what this dark space is teaching you. We all go through those cycles of darkness and come out into the light. It's highs and lows of life. We all go through it, but Scorpios feel it more intensely because that is the, you know, that's how this placement works. For any part of anywhere Scorpio is, that's how Scorpio is going to act. Like I have Venus in Scorpio. I'll do a video on that. I go through many ups and downs as far as love and the types of things I attract. Also, depending on what house you have Scorpio moon in, or your person, it depends where that energy is going to act out. So, like I was saying before, it's best for Scorpio moons to do that inner work, do that shadow work, really tap into yourself and really see what is affecting you. And I'm still on my journey. I'm still healing, and I'm still bringing light to darker parts of myself, or parts of myself that need healing and need that affection and need, you know, that nurturing. Also, the moon could relate to your inner child. like I was saying, that you need to figure out what parts of your inner child are damaged and need nurturing and need love and need attention. Give it that attention, give it that love and nurturing, because it's needed. This placement is karmic. You know, like I said, you can bring things from many past lives that can affect you emotionally. It can really affect you and, you know, take you down roads that you don't want to go down if you're not really channeling this energy correctly, or letting this energy just go haywire on its own. Like, you really got to tap into it and wield that power. Because I'm going to say it again, this is a very powerful placement. And you want to be able to realize and recognize the power of this placement and use it to its utmost ability. But as of now, that's all I have for Scorpio Moon. I know it's a lot that I didn't say that I want to say, and that's why I'm gonna make a part 2 and make a lot of other videos on Scorpio Moon, because Scorpio Moon, like I said, is a very mysterious placement. It's very like dark in a lot of aspects that haven't been totally you know, discovered within myself. I don't know, other people, you know, may have went to the deeper parts and discovered deeper parts. Like Judy Hall, she has a lot of books on, you know, Scorpio placements or Pluto aspects and stuff like that, because she was a Scorpio moon. But yeah, I'm gonna save whatever I haven't said in this video. I'm gonna save it for another video, and I hope you like this video. If you do, please like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell for future videos, and thank you for watching. Melody checking out.